All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my stuff. I really appreciate your support. Today, I want to do something along the lines of everything else I've been doing recently, which is my huge support for Justin Fields. But what if we keep Justin Fields in this upcoming draft or trade Justin Fields in this upcoming draft? And how that mocks out for the entire draft and building the team for the future. So I did one of both. And there's one thing I want to point out because there's so many other factors that go into that. If you haven't checked out some of my other videos, one that I did recently was comparing Justin Fields to Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels, as well as Bryce Young from the last draft, and how they all stack up against each other. It's a good analysis to show these guys coming out of college and that there's no surefire thing on a quarterback. We can't assume if we trade Justin Fields that Caleb Williams is going to be a slam dunk or that Drake May is going to be the next Pat Mahomes. You just don't know. We don't know. So there's a lot of unknowns. And with this team, the way it's built right now, this is a team that's stacked to be making playoff runs. This is a team that should have been 11-6 this year. Mismanaged, had some gelling issues, had some injury issues. Whatever, we can make excuses all day. At the end of the year, we're going to be an 8-9 team. We're not an 11-6 team. And here we are. But it's a team ready to go to the playoffs. Drafting a quarterback rarely equates to going to the playoffs in that first year of that quarterback. Could it happen? Absolutely. With this type of team, it could happen. But you don't know if Caleb Williams is going to be that quarterback that could jump into a system and do well right away. You don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to do the same thing and jump in and be Justin Fields 2.0 and take off from there and have a reset contract. We don't know those things. So what's it going to look like? What's going to be best to build this team for right now? Because right now, Justin Fields is only going to cost us a little over $3 million next year. Yeah, we have to worry about other things after that, but next year we'll know, do we need to extend him? Next year we'll know, hey, should we draft? And if we trade, there's the kicker to all this. If we trade down, we can get another first rounder for next year. So here's what we have coming up. We've got 2 firsts this year. Everyone pretty much knows this by now. I threw in the minority initiative comp pick for this year because I'm under the assumption, if you've been looking, there's a lot of rumors going around right now about Ian Cunningham already getting attention from other teams. He got attention last year. It's presumed, it's rumored that he did interview for the Arizona GM job last year. There's going to be some new GM hires next year. He's one of the front runners. He was last year. And I think this year, after everything he's been through with the adversity, the ups and downs, how he helped build through the last 2 drafts, I think he's definitely going to get hired. So I did throw in the minority comp initiative pick, which is at the end of the 3rd round in the next 2 years. So I threw that in there. We've got 2 firsts, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, and a 5th. So that's where we stand. And then in 2025, there's our picks listed there. So option 1, keep Justin Fields and build around him. Option 2, trade Justin Fields to the highest bidder and reset the clock. There's different rumors about what's been out there. I think we should be able to get a first for him. I'm a little delusional, I'm going to admit, because I'm a Justin Fields super fan. I think he is the best quarterback we've ever had as the Chicago Bears. But I'm going to go along the lines of the best rumors we've heard. And the best thing that I've heard out there is a second and a mid pick. So I'm going to go here with the Falcons giving us $240. So their 2nd round pick and their 4th round pick they get from Jacksonville for Calvin Ridley. So $240 and $420. And that's going to kick off where we start on option 2. So side by side here, I'm going to go through the draft. Pick number 1. 1-1 overall. We've got on one side, Drake May. This is if we're trading Justin Fields. On option 2, we're going to pick up Drake May. I don't like Caleb Williams. There's a lot to dissect about that. Go look at my other videos if you want to see it. Drake May is more NFL ready. If a new OC wants to come in and work with a quarterback, Drake May is a pocket passer. He's more accurate. That's whoever we pick, there they are, 1.1. On the other side, my option, what I like, is trading down far enough that we get 3 first-round picks. And with Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, this year we can do it. So this is just an assumed spot. The Falcons, Raiders, a couple teams will be right there between 7 and 11-ish. So that's kind of we're going to assume that the Raiders are at 10. So if we trade from 1-1, to 110. We're going to get 110, 242, 4, 112, and 2 future first-round picks. You can stack that up any different ways, maybe a different pick for the future instead of a second round this year. But no, I think the Bears are going to want a second this year. Or a fourth in the future. No, I think the Bears want some picks this year. So I think that's pretty equal to what the Bears are going to want for this situation. I won't dissect all of these, but here we go. 1-9, where we get with our own pick, Malik Neighbors on both sides. So this one doesn't affect either side. 110, this is the pick we got from Las Vegas. With that pick, trading down, we can now build for our needs. Having Montez Sweat has been huge, and we know we need to build up the other side too. We've got DeMarcus Walker under contract. Latu has been an absolute stud this year. A lot of people think he might drop farther because of his injury history. Everyone gets injured at some point. Someone's going to get injured in the NFL. He was not injured at all this year, and he played outstanding. So I think once he gets to the combine and he shows off his strength and his skills and his speed, and he goes through the entire workout process, teams are going to realize he was healthy all year, and they're going to take that on him. I think that's the perfect pick for the Bears, and I got Latu at 110. All right, so now, because the Bears traded down with Vegas on option 1 of keeping Fields, and because the Bears traded Justin Fields to Atlanta on option 2, they're both going to pick here in the second round. But because the Bears kept Justin Fields, they were able to pick their prime needs, the wide receiver and defensive end first. So in the option where we trade Justin Fields, we now need to fill that need with Jonah Ellis from Utah. Had a great year, but he's not Latu. So we're, in my opinion, that's step down. Instead of an A grade, that's a B grade. And now we can draft premium position for replacing Eddie Jackson. We can get Cam Kitchens, who was an All-American, who has had a really good year this year, an excellent year last year. And I think he'll be the second safety to go. I think Tyler Nubin will be first off the board. I'm predicting the Eagles will take him. The Eagles have a need for a safety as well. So now we can pick prime position with Cam Kitchens. In our other mock, we have to pick Jonah Ellis from Utah, who's been rising the boards. And really, I had between him and Jack Sawyer right here. Either one is a tier down from your top tier guys of Latu, Jared Verse, Dallas Turner, and those top tier guys in the first round. Now we're picking a second tier guy instead of a top tier guy. All right, to our third round pick. Now we need to pick a tier down from the Cam Kitchens and Tyler Nubins, and we have to pick Rod Moore, who I think is one of my top 5 still. So he's still a solid safety. Great pick, and we get him in the option where we traded away Justin Fields. But in the option where we keep Justin Fields, this gives us the ability to draft one of the top-tier centers in the class. And I really like Jackson Powers Johnson. There's been different centers I've gone through. My other videos, you'll hear me talk about Cedric Van Pran, and I'm not the biggest fan of him. If you go look at his year this year, he didn't impress me. He didn't blow my socks off. There's a couple of them that I really like. Jackson Powers Johnson is the one rising on my board right now. I love the way he can hustle and get out on those run blocks because the Bears utilize that a ton, and he is a dog. You watch him running out there, and he's just like the current Bears right now on those screens and on the different plays we're going out. He's a hustler, and he's a beast. So I think he fits perfect with the Bears. Rod Moore is still a great center. Come in to replace Eddie Jackson, so this isn't a huge downfall, but he is a tier below Cam Kitchens and Tyler Nubin. All right, so now we're going to go to the end of the third round comp pick, and in this we can pick with both of them safely. I think we really need to snag Brennan Rice, son of Jerry Rice, coming out of USC. Great pick there from both. All right, 4-1-11, our own pick. Bears are going to pick Luke Lackey out of Iowa. There's some other tight ends I have ahead of him. I really like some other ones, but with Cole Kmet, you don't need the top tier tight ends. I would really love to get Cade Stover, but I think he's going to go a little bit higher than this, and we have other needs to get besides a tight end. But I think Luke Lackey, you can't fail with a Iowa tight end. You just can't. Go look at the pedigree of Iowa tight ends, and it's a surefire thing. So Luke Lackey here in the 4th round is a good pick for us. Now, with our comp pick from Vegas, because we got that for trading down and keeping Justin Fields, we're going to snag Joe Milton III. We're going to give a backup to Justin Fields. And I think this is the smart way to go. I think it's smart to pick a guy who has a ton of potential, cannon for an arm. If you watch some of my other stuff, I've really praised Joe Milton before. He's not an NFL-ready quarterback. He's one of those guys that you put in there, you have him study behind someone like Justin Fields, and you groom him, and maybe in a couple years he can turn into something awesome if Justin Fields doesn't work out. But Joe Milton has all the measurables. He has all the physical things you'd want, and he literally can throw the ball 90 yards. I've never seen someone throw a cannon like he can. And he's really accurate, too. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He's 6'5". I think that's a great option to go, and we can do this because we kept Justin Fields. All right, on the other side of the board, because we traded Justin Fields down and got 2 picks for him, we're going to pick Bryce Foster. Now, Texas A&M center is someone I was hot on to start the year off. He hasn't quite performed as well, and he's not the same level as Jackson Powers Johnson to me. Another tier down, just like I said, but I think we're going to go get a center in free agency anyways. I think that's a little limited now that Connor Williams tore his ACL. He's going to be out. I don't know if we'll go after him. So it's just not quite the same tier as we could have picked higher on the other side, but we still picked our center up. All right, a pick from Philadelphia. Darius Robinson, defensive lineman from Missouri. If you've heard me talk about him, I'm in love with him. 5'145". We're just going to pick up some depth here with our later picks. Kyrie Jackson, cornerback, Oregon. Really solid prospect. But let's compare how these went. All right, so first of all, here's our upcoming draft picks now with the 2 different methods. On the left, you've got if we kept Justin Fields. Now we have 2 first-rounders next year, 2 second-rounders, 2 thirds, a 4th, a 5th, 2 sixths, and a future in 2026 first-round pick. There's the kicker. So the big difference there is in 2025 we'll have 2 first-round picks. In 2026 we'll have another first-round pick. I really think Ryan Poles sees this. I really think they realize Justin Fields is only a little over $3 million next year. We've got the team to compete right now. If we add some more weapons, add 2 or 3 more wide receivers, add another tight end, add some help on the lines, add some depth, then this team is a playoff caliber competing team right now. And if you screwed up, if you were wrong, 2025, you've got capital like crazy to trade up and get the quarterback that you really want, or have it fall into your lap like it did this year. Who would have known the Panthers would give us another first-round pick? Maybe the Raiders will do the same thing next year. I doubt it. It doesn't happen that way. But what do you have to give up for a first-round pick? A couple firsts, a second, maybe more. All right, well, look, we've got 2 firsts next year, a future first in 2026, a couple seconds, a couple thirds. We've got capital at that point. Draft capital is king. That's what Ryan Pace left us without. And that's why Ryan Poles has done such a spectacular job, is because he has rebuilt that in just 2 years. He drafted down, he traded down in 2022, and picked up amazing capital in that draft. It's unforgettable what he did. And then the trade last year to pick up DJ Moore and trade the first pick to the Knights and pick up an extra pick for 2024 with the 4th from Philadelphia for trading down 1 spot. Dude, the guy knows what he's doing. So this is what I expect. This is what I see. Ultimately, here's what we end up with. Keeping Justin Fields and building around him, we get top-tier wide receiver, top-tier defensive end, top-tier safety, one of the best-rated centers, really, really solid wide receiver, tight end, and a quality backup quarterback. The difference on option 2 is now we have a rookie quarterback who rarely goes to the playoffs. He could. With this team, I really think someone could step in and go to the playoffs. But what if they're Bryce Young? What if they're Jamarcus Russell? What if they're the next bust? Then what? You've got Jonah Ellis, who's a step down from Latu Latu. You got Rod Moore, who's a step down from Cam Kitchens. And of course, we don't know, but you've got higher picks if you keep Fields and more future capital. It just makes sense that we keep him. Let me know your thoughts, though. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. I think it's clear cut for me. At this point, we've got 2 future first round picks traded from the Raiders. We've got the higher quality draft picks this year. It just makes sense that we keep Justin Fields. He is him. He is JF1. He's our guy. And we're going to watch him carve up today. We're going to watch the Cardinals get diced. This is going to be a blowout if I've ever seen one. So bear down. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And the like button. I appreciate all you checking this out. And we'll see you next time.